Saxon Math Course 2. We are in Lesson 53 today, and we're dealing with something called word problems. And one thing that we need to add to that is the idea of ratio. What is a ratio? A ratio is simply a fraction, because it means this many to this many, okay? Like of 1 cup, we want 3/4 of 1 cup. Of chocolate chips to make our chocolate chip cookies or something like that. Okay, so we're going to be dealing with word problems in that association. So to start off with, on 357, just under the new concept, it says the ratio of parrots to macaws. Parrots to macaws. That is a ratio. Okay, ratio meaning it's going to be a fraction, something to something. Parrots to macaws at a bird sanctuary was 3 to 5. Okay, so parrots were 3, macaws were 5. And then it says if there were 45 parrots. Well, which one was parrots? Up here. 45. Then how many macaws were there? Alright, let's take this snapshot and let's put that in a new equation. 3 over 5 equals 45 over x. We don't know. When we have an equality statement, 3 parrots, 45 parrots, 5 macaws, we don't know. This number right here has to be larger than this number. Why is that the case? Because we already know it's a 3 to 5 ratio. So we know that this number is going to be larger, okay? So how do we figure this out? Well, when there's an equal sign, we can do something called cross multiplication. So 3 times x literally is 3x. And we want to keep the equal sign here, okay? So we're going to put this equal sign, and then we're going to do the same thing here. Times 5, or 45 times 5. Okay. To do the quick math here, 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. 5 times 4 is 20, so it's 225. So 3x equals 225. Now, if you look on 376, you're gonna see the same thing. What they did was, instead of using x, they used m, because they said, okay, we want to know how many macaws there were. I used x just because it's an easy variable to put in. But the algebra to get x by itself is the same. So how do we get x by itself? Well, we're going to divide both sides by 3, and when we do that, this crosses out, and I'm left with x equals 225 divided by 3, which, when you do that division problem, we find out that the macaws over here equal 75. Okay, so we have 75 macaws. So what we did was 3 over 5 parrots to macaws equals 45 parrots to 75 macaws. In fact, if you reduce this fraction, you'll find out that it turns into 3/5. It has to be the same thing. Okay, so those are the kinds of questions that you're going to get with these word ratio problems. Look at example 2. On page 376, it's the middle example there. It says in the auditorium the ratio of boys to girls, B to G. There's our ratio. What did that equal? Well, it says 5 to 4. There were more boys than there were girls. Now it's going to give us a number that is unknown. If there were 200 girls, well, where was the girls? They were down on the bottom, so we have to put 200 down here. How many boys were there? Okay, so here we go. We're going to cross multiply. So 4b equals 5 times 200. Well, what is 5 times 200? You know that as 1,000, right? So we're going to divide by 4 both sides. These 4's cancel out. B equals 250, because 250 times 4 equals 1,000. So how many boys were there? 250. And remember, they had to be more than girls, and it is. Alright, so it's all about just ratio word problems, which basically means a fraction with an unknown. There's going to be something that we don't know, and there's only going to be one thing that we don't know. If we don't know two of the things, we can't figure out the problem. Okay, so there will only be one thing we don't know, and that's the lesson. All right, hopefully you have a good time with this lesson. If you have any questions, I'll be there to help.